Blessed be my spiritualist, and welcome to another episode of Which Please. It is I, Odin the Seer, and today we are going to be talking about a very touchy subject, and that is pain. Pain is something that people try and avoid at all costs, but what people don't seem to understand is the purpose of pain. We are not intended to suffer. That is not what we are here for. And I know that there's a lot of belief structures that say we are, and I know that there's a lot of people who believe that's the reason why the world is the way it is, so we can suffer. But that's simply not the truth, y'all. Pain is the divine's way of allowing you the opportunity, or affording you the opportunity, to be able to move. Right? I've always said there's two ways to grow in this world, and that is through love and pain. However, pain is always as much as we like to avoid it, it's a very easy one for us to take. It's easier than the love aspect, and that's because we have been conditioned to the point where love is foreign to us. It's very difficult for us to be able to love someone unconditionally, or to be loved by someone unconditionally. So we kind of shy away from that feeling. So of course, if we're not going to be able to have that experience of growth and movement via the avenue of love, then we're going to have to take the avenue of pain. Now, the big mistake that a lot of people make is they think that automatically this means that you need to just forget about that pain and try and move on from it. And it's not really about that. Every time you go through a cycle of pain because of old patterns or what have you, this is the divine giving you the opportunity to make different decisions, okay? To create new neural pathways. And because we are so conditioned to fear love, because we do. We fear love more than we fear pain in this reality at this point in time. It is easier for us to get into a relationship with somebody, break up with that person, and feel the pain than to jump in to a long-lasting relationship and make ourselves vulnerable. There's no vulnerability in pain. And because there's no vulnerability in pain, people feel more comfortable with that. Vulnerability is one of the hardest things for people to do in this reality at this time. So, if you think of it from the perspective of pain being the divine giving you an opportunity to make new neural pathways, to create a new pattern, a new way of doing something that will allow you to not have to go through that again, then you won't see pain as being such a pain. You won't see it as being torturous. You won't feel that the divine is not there supporting you, because they really are. The divine wants evolution for us. They want us to grow. They want us to move forward. They want us to have the good things in life. But all the programming that we have had, all the illusions and conditions that we buy into, are affecting us from having that opportunity. Right? Having those wonderful things and having that peace in our reality. Now, we also need to take into account the law of duality. With the law of duality, there must be one to have the other. You are supposed to be here to progress. You are supposed to be here to be able to attain enlightenment and connect. The pathway for enlightenment is the pathway of love. And we've talked about this in another episode. So, if you are taking the path of love, or you're trying to take the path of love, yet you are not taking the prompts from pain to allow you to be able to challenge those old conditions, challenge the patterns that no longer serve you any purpose. If you're just trying to get away from the pain, just trying to numb the pain, you're not going to be able to evolve in that way. You're not going to be able to reach that enlightenment. Now, Buddhist belief and, that the world is pain. Yes, the world does have a lot of pain in it, but the world is also a very beautiful place. And you can have a wonderful experience within this realm of existence. You can have a beautiful life. We have to understand that if we're feeling pain, that's simply showing us that there is something that is not in resonance with where we want to be. I've had many people say to me so many times about how they're feeling this pain and they don't understand, and they kind of see pain as a punishment. They see pain as, the divine's way of saying you're not doing something right. But it's not the divine saying you're not doing something right. It's the divine saying, hey, wait a minute. This right here is not conducive to where you want to be. This is not conducive to you having the experiences that are in resonance with your higher and deepest self. So I want people to stop thinking about pain as, I need to let something go. We are so quick to automatically assume that we have to remove something. We have to take away something. We have to give something up. And it's not always about that. You have the opportunity. You have the power to make your own happiness, to create your own destiny. If you choose to try and just avoid pain, I'm going to go shopping and I'm going to go on vacation and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do the other and I'm going to spend all my time and money because of the fact that, this brings me a certain level of peace, and I'm not going to address whatever pain it is that I'm feeling. If I'm not going to realize that this is prompting me to do something to change my life. I'm not saying that we don't have pain because there's life lessons and whatnot. Of course we do. That all comes with this beautiful experience that we call life in this reality. But I just would like the Witch Please fam to start looking at things a little differently. Stop being a slave to your environment and think that you're doing something wrong. The best way for you to be able to move through your life is to understand everything about yourself. Understand, what are your triggers? Why are your triggers? Why are you feeling pain? Is this resonant? Is this in resonance with where you want to be, where your truest self is? And sometimes that may mean that you're holding on to something. You're holding on to it, and yes, you will have to let that go. But it's not always that. Sometimes it's just telling you, it's guiding you to an aspect that you may not be honoring, that you may not be looking into, that you may not be acknowledging. Let's say you're in a situation where you are just not moving forward in your life. You have goals and dreams. Okay? And you decided that you have believed for a period of time that you needed to let go of that because that's never going to be a reality. Sometimes the pain that's being given to you at that point in time is the divine saying, no, this is a reality for you. This is where you're supposed to be. Rather than letting this go, what you need to do is you need to be thinking about where it is you're intended to be and how you're going to get there. If you feel like you're giving up something and it's causing you pain, if you're letting go of something and it's causing you pain, then what you need to understand is that you're not intended to let that go. You're intended to focus yourself. Figure out avenues, create avenues, manifest avenues to where you want to be, where you're intended to be. This will help you manifest swifter. This will allow you to be able to understand yourself better. And the more you understand yourself, the better you will be in maneuvering your way through this reality, through this carnation. It was never intended to be a torture. It was always intended to be a guide. And if we start looking at it as a guide, if we start looking at it as a compass, saying, wait a minute, this is where I should be. This is where I want to be. I've had people say to me before, I'm feeling so much pain. I'm feeling so much pain. And what they didn't understand is they weren't actually feeling pain. They were feeling a yearning. It can be, it can be misconstrued as pain a lot of the time. Because you're not nurturing it. You're not taking the time to take a look at what it is that's really calling to you. And if you're not going to nurture it, you're not going to sate that feeling that's going to alleviate that quote-unquote pain. You will find that a lot of the times when it comes to your goals and your dreams, that it's actually a yearning that you have mistaken for pain. For those of us who have suffered and felt real pain, we understand that yearning is very close, very similar, but true pain is a very different thing. and it feels very different. And if you start to understand the yearning and you start understanding the pain and you sate it properly, never feed the pain, but you want to feed the yearning. Now, when I say feed the yearning, I don't mean to, let it overtake you. That's not what I'm saying. When I'm saying feed it, I mean do things towards whatever you're yearning for. Turn it into a positive thing, right? Turn it into a hunger for something. It could be a feeling that actually motivates you to do stuff. When you turn something, when you hold the belief that this is not pain, this is a yearning, this is a hunger, and you see it in a positive light, the divine will give you positive energy to work with. When you hold it in yourself as, a disintegrating type of energy, a crippling type of energy, the divine will provide you with that energy as well. Know your likes, your dislikes, your peace, your pain, your love, your anger. Know all of these things about yourself. Are you misidentifying these emotions? Have you conditioned yourself to believe that what you're feeling is this, when in actuality it can be a positive power within your reality to manifest wonderful things? That's a question that you need to ask yourself. That is the question that's going to allow you to traverse your world. It's very empowering. It gives you the tools and the strength to no longer be subject to old patterns. You may find when you start looking at things in a different perspective that you're really not far off track. You just don't know yourself well. The best magic you will ever do is the alchemy on yourself. You can cast all the spells in the world with great results. But if you do not understand yourself, if you do not understand how you work, you will never truly be able to appreciate what you have manifested. So that is our episode for today. If you have not subscribed, you need to press subscribe, join the Witch Please family, and do not miss out on a thing. You can follow us on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, as well as Facebook. You can always send me a personal email at witchpleaseofficial@gmail.com, or you can leave a comment below and I'll try to get back to all the ones that I can. I've said it before, and I will say it again. It is a pleasure to have you in my world. It is an honor to have you in my magic. And you are always in my heart. I will see you again on another episode of Witch Please. I love you, boo-boos. Bye-bye.